Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Popping the Popcorn's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Katie, and today I'm reviewing Last Night in Soho. So I have the Blu-ray right here. I bought it a couple weeks ago. I'll link the haul. Well, I didn't do a haul video on this one, because I just got it, for my birthday. My mother-in-law got it for me for my birthday, and so I haven't really gotten any new movies since I got this one. And it's by Edgar Wright. He wrote it, directed, did the screenplay. Somebody else co-wrote it as well, but he mostly did all of it. And it has Thomas McKenzie, Thomason McKenzie. I think that's how you say her name, and Aria Taylor-Joy, who is from Queen's Gambit, which is a Netflix show, and it's a really good show. So this movie also has Matt Smith from Doctor Who. It also has, what's his name? Terrence something, who is a really big actor. And I really enjoyed the story. It was really different from most movies I've seen. And so this movie is about Eloise, an inspiring fashion designer who mysteriously is able to enter the 1960s, where she encounters Emma. But the glamorous is not all it appears to be, and dreams of the past start to creep back and sinister into something far darker. And so I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not normally an Edgar Wright fan. There's a couple of movies that I liked from him. But this movie was one of his best movies, I think, in my opinion. It was just like a lot of fun. And it had it's considered a horror movie, but it had more of horror element. So Edgar Wright did Baby Driver, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim versus the World's End, Ant-Man. I didn't think he did Ant-Man. Maybe he wrote it? Okay, yeah, he wrote Ant-Man. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that. And so it was so this movie, I liked how they kind of went from, sorry, the sun's going in and out, guys. So this story was kind of cool, how it went from like modern day to like the 60s, and that was really cool. And so this movie, we meet Eloise. She's an aspiring fashion designer. And so she goes to fashion school, and that's how she ends up Last Night in Soho kind of type of thing. And this movie does have horror elements in it, but I wouldn't say it's a horror movie per se, just because the way that it is, because like the beginning and the middle are kind of like a normal like drama type of movie. And then as you go towards the end of the movie, it's more of a horror element. And then Eloise gets a haircut. She gets a haircut, and it looks like it's from the 60s. She changes her clothes, her hairstyle and stuff. She has this one fashion designer person that does not really like her too much. And so she ends up living with this older lady, and I will not tell you what happens with the older lady, but the older lady's involved. Why she goes to Soho or the like reality world where you see Matt Smith and the girl from Queen's Gambit. You see them together. It's kind of cool how it kind of mirrors like she's there but she's not there, and it's kind of cool how they mirror it. I'm not gonna give you guys um the whole thing given away, but I really enjoyed this movie. I give this movie a 9 out of 10. And it was just a lot of fun and different from most movies that have been made nowadays. And it's an original film, which I think is really cool because there's not too many original films now. Everybody's remaking everything, which I think you should be doing original storylines just because they're more better. In my opinion, they're more better. Um, but this is still a fun movie. It is rated R, so if you have kids, do not watch it with the kids. And it's an hour and 57 minutes. And here goes some fun facts for you guys. You guys know how I love my fun facts. So the writing process was similar to 1970s. Edgar Wright usually writes all of the movies that he directs in, and while that's still true for Last Night in Soho, he did have a helping hand, Crystal Wilson, who co-wrote the screenplay with Wright, and her other credits include 1917, one of her best war films of the 20th century. That's really cool. Aria Taylor-Joy previously auditioned for an Edgar Wright movie. Aria Taylor-Joy is self-proclaimed Edgar Allan Wright fan and shows it as she also auditioned for another one of his films years ago. Taylor-Joy tried to get a role in Baby Driver, and while she doesn't exactly fit the role, it was most likely the part of Deborah. That makes sense as both Taylor-Joy and Lily James, who plays Deborah, have similar profiles. However, all as well, it ends up the actress ended up earning a role of Sandy in Last Night in Soho. Yeah, that's her name. I forgot. The original titles, although The Last Night in Soho sounds like such a perfect title, it is totally fitting for the movie. That isn't the original name according to IndieWire. In fact, it wasn't even Wright's second choice either. The film was originally titled Red Light Error, but the director realized he had to change that as people would get confused with the Clint Murphy starring movie Red Lights. Wright then came up with the idea of calling it Night Has 1,000 Eyes, but then he learned that Woody title belongs to another movie too, so he finally landed on his third choice, Last Night in Soho. Quentin Tarantino inspired the title of the movie. That's really cool. It was almost miraculous how the final title of Wright's new movie came to be. It was all because of a conversation he had with Quentin Tarantino about Death Proof while talking about his 27 movie. They moved on the title's music, and Quentin Tarantino asked Wright if he had ever heard of the song Last Night in Soho. It was the perfect timing as Wright just happened to be working on the movie based in Soho, and that he was desperately scrambling to find a new title after he was unable to use his first two ideas. So Tarantino invaded in the movie in 2021. That's really cool. Taylor-Joy was cast as fanciest because of Night in Soho. Fans just won't recognize Arya Joy from Soho. Lately, the actor has been over the big screen services, the star of the hit The Queen Gambit and X-Men movie. The New Mutants and her Hollywood domain will continue as she'll be starring in the upcoming Mad Max Fury Road spin off as Phoenicia. I guess I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. But that's really cool that she's gonna be in the upcoming Mad Max movies. I love Mad Max. Wright pitched the movie before World's End. Last Night in Soho had already been delayed due to the pandemic, as it was originally set for release a year ago in September 2020. However, after all the stars were aligned, the movie could been made and released a decade ago. That's kind of interesting. It's influenced by Wright's parents and stories of the 60s. As the movie travels back in time to the 60s, there's clearly such a huge amount of research and effort that's gone into the making of Soho and decades accurate, and according to the New York Times. It all started with Wright's listening to his parents' coming of age story of that period. That's really cool. Wright pitched the idea to co-writer Wilson while on a crawl pub. That's really interesting. Taylor Joy was stuck on set. Was starstruck on set because because also the characters that played Fred and George on the Harry Potter series was in there. That's really cool. Matt Smith had to learn to dance for the movie because there's like a ballroom scene and he had to learn how to dance. And that was really cool how they did all that, you know. And I just really enjoyed everything. I really enjoyed this movie. I liked how they went back and forth and everything like that. And how it went back and forth from modern times to the 60s. That was really cool. And how they actually, when they were in the 60s, they had like 60s music going. They had 60s costumes and stuff like that. And that was really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comment section below if you've seen this movie or if you have not seen this movie. I know it came out last year. I just haven't had time to see it. Please hit that like button because it helps my channel out a lot. And hit that notification bell when I have more videos uploaded. All right. Have a great week, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.